These 2 bottle crops were started at the same date, as you can see here, on the 13th of May. This one was placed in a location without so much light, and this one was placed under electrical light, which provide enough light for the plants to grow. You can see that this one is ready to be harvested soon, and this one didn't really grow. I think the problem you're encountering with your plant is that it doesn't get enough light. It's the same problem as this one. So try to move it to a more luminous place, and you'll get more results, probably. Here you see 2 different treatments. Here is a white light only, and this one has white, red, and blue light. And like me, you can notice that there is no much difference between these 2 treatments. So as of now, we don't know. I don't know yet which wavelength is going to work the best to grow lettuce. Mars is 252.5 millions of kilometers away from the Earth. The rover Curiosity, which was sent to Mars in 2011, took 254 days to reach the Martian surface. So in average, the rocket going to Mars was going at 33,796 kilometers per hour. That is to say, 558 kilometers per minute, or 10 kilometers per second. Earth gravity is our reference, and so we say it's equal to 1. Since Mars is smaller, the gravity is also smaller on Mars, and it's 0.38 compared to the Earth gravity. It means that if someone weighs 50 kilograms on Earth, this person will weigh 19 kilograms on Mars. So how this translates in terms of jumps? Well, if you can jump 1 meter on the Earth's surface, then on Mars you would be able to jump 2.63 meters high. Isn't it awesome? So if we go outside on Mars without a spacesuit, there are 3 main problems. The first one is the freezing temperatures. If we go outside without a spacesuit, we would freeze almost instantaneously. The second problem is the lack of oxygen in the atmosphere. We wouldn't be able to breathe. The Martian atmosphere is composed mainly of carbon dioxide. Thirdly, the Martian atmosphere, the pressure is very, very small, and our body wouldn't be able to cope with that. So there is no risk of getting any disease if we go outside without a spacesuit on Mars. The main problems would be that we wouldn't be able to breathe, we would freeze, and our body wouldn't stand the atmospheric pressure. This is the interior of the backpack. As you can see here, we have a big fan which is pulling air from the outside until the inside in our helmet. This is how we breathe, so I'll show you a bit more how this works. So we have a big fan here and a smaller fan here, and this smaller fan is linked through this tube to the interior of the helmet here. So we have air coming through this tube when the helmet is closed, and this is how we breathe inside the suit. You're asking me if the suit is heavy. Well, if I try to pull it with one hand, as you can see, I struggle a bit. It's a bit heavy. What you have to know is that now it is empty, but when we go on EVA, this whole thing is full of a big container of water plus a battery. The water is to cool us down. The battery is to make everything work. So this suit, when we go out, is 23 kilograms. So we have 23 kilograms on our shoulder. As you can see, it is very thick, so it's also very warm. So it is very tiring and also very warm to walk with this suit. These yellow suits, green suits, are in plastic, so they're a bit lighter, so less tiring to walk with them. But since it's only plastic, it's also very warm to walk in these suits. We didn't go out without a suit yet, because we are doing a simulation, so we do everything as if we were on Mars, so we don't go out without a spacesuit. Even for 5 minutes, even if it's something not important, we always put a suit. The volcanic rocks around are not dangerous for our safety, and this is not the reason why we are wearing a suit. The reason why we are wearing a suit is because we are pretending we are living on Mars and that we cannot breathe outside. So it's nothing to do with the outside environment here being a problem for health. So very good question about the armband. So the armband, we keep it always at night because it also calculates our sleep cycle. So we change arm, we put it on the right arm so that we don't get any skin problems from keeping it only on one spot. The badge, however, would be very not nice to sleep with. Plus, it's aimed at measuring the interaction we have with one another. And since we're sleeping, we don't need it at night to measure our interaction. So what we do is we plug it and we charge it at night so that when we wake up in the morning, it's fully operational for the whole day. In terms of data, we don't have the data live, and they will be analyzed by a remote team of scientists who are studying us. This is our bed, so it's composed of two foam mattresses. So that's the first foam mattress, and that's the second here. So everything is quite comfy and soft, not too soft not to hurt our back, but very good. I think our length of sleep varies from 5 to 8 hours per night, depends on the crew member. So as Tiffany explained you in the previous video, when someone gets sick here, we write an email to the doctor, and then the doctor advises us on what medicine to take. We have loads of medicine here. So it happened that some of our crew members got sick and had to take antibiotics. Myself, I had to take antibiotics once, not because I was sick, but because I was a bit clumsy with a knife. As you can see here, I cut myself, and the doctor had to come and suture me with 4 stitches. And in order not to get complications, I had to take antibiotics to be safe. Well, if someone gets ill or doesn't want to continue for any reason, personal or medical, this person can leave anytime. We are not in a prison here. We are subject of a study. So if for any reason the person wants to leave, they're free to leave. We don't have any TV, but we have lots of board games, as you can see here. We also have DVDs, so from time to time we watch a movie, and otherwise we do things like karaoke last weekend. We also read a lot of books, and you were asking if we have any cell phone network here. So yes, there is one. We use it for our emergency cell phone that we use only in case of extreme emergency when we have to break SIM. Otherwise, we only communicate per email.
Can't be me, I'm a rock star. I'm running on the top of a cop car. I'm a rebel in my 4-4 fast car. It's over now, it's over now. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun.
So we have no animal here in the dome. The only one we encounter are these spiders running around. Yes, even on Mars we have sweets. As you can see here, we have lots of choice. We have chocolates, we have Oreo, you're all familiar with that. We have M&Ms. We have lots of chocolate bars type Snickers and Twix. And we also have cookies and even chips. So yeah, we are quite spoiled here on Mars. See here is our freeze-dried vegetables. This is what we use to cook. We have to rehydrate them first, and so in the end we cook really normal stuff like you would do at your home. Here Casey is cooking pasta with pesto for us for lunch today. Here you see we have some sausage with crackers. That's very common too. And this is our pile of freeze-dried meat and milk and other cans of fish and loads of sauce. So this is what we eat usually. So we do have a dishwasher here, but we don't use it because it uses too much water compared to what we use to wash our dishes by hand. So we wash everything by hand. We have a first tank for soapy water. Here is bleach water, and then we rinse and we dry. The dome is located on the youngest volcanic island from Hawaii. So this means that there is no vegetation which had time to grow on the volcanoes yet. So the landscape is really Martian-like, only red rocks everywhere, no vegetation. So we would not like the dome to be somewhere else. This is the perfect spot. The volcano Mauna Loa, where we are, is 4,169 meter high, but we are only at 2,500 meter. So yes, there are many other projects like this one. Usually they're not focused on one planet in particular, but the two main bodies which are studied will be the Moon and Mars. So these are the main bodies studied for analog simulation missions. So when we are outside, you see two separate buildings. So one is the dome and the other one is the container. The dome is our living space, and the container is actually our workshop where we go to repair things, etc. But if you look at the general map, actually these two things are part of one single habitat. They're linked through a corridor, and so it is one single habitat.
So the question is, how do we generate power here at the high seas habitat? And is it all solar energy? Well, first of all, these controllers are the ones that connect outside to our solar panels. So each of these controls a unit of 8 of the solar panels out on that big array. And right now, it's close to midday. We're generating almost 20 amps at 83 volts. So these controllers are bringing a lot of the power in. And if we look here, you can actually see exactly how much power is being generated, 6.7 kilowatts from the solar panels alone. Now, the habitat itself is only using about 1 kilowatt at the moment, so all that excess energy is charging these two big battery banks. And these stacks here are basically giant batteries, and right now you can see that they're in charge mode and they're about 61% charged. So in a couple more hours, these will be fully charged, and when the sun goes down at night, power from the batteries will go back up through these inverters and back to the habitat. So we actually have kind of a combination of two, solar and battery. Now what happens if we're having a cloudy day or a rainy day? Well, the solar panels themselves will generate a little bit of the electricity, but not all of it. and certainly not enough to charge the batteries fully. So we have two backup systems. The first backup system is simply a generator that sits outside. We can turn this on and off and then start the generator itself. This is a worst case scenario device. The second device, which I can't actually show you, is the fuel cell. And so you can see this is the circuit breaker that goes out to the fuel cell, and the fuel cell operates on hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas flows through the fuel cell, combines with oxygen in the atmosphere to generate water as waste, and that's one of our other backup systems as well. So in total we have solar, fuel cell, gas, and the batteries as power sources, and they all work together to generate our power.
So this habitat is designed to be used on Earth. So you can see it's thin. We can see the sunlight going through. It has only 2 plastic layers. So this habitat is not designed for harsh Martian conditions. But the habitat will be which will be on Mars will have many layers of radiation protection against the very cold temperature outside, etc. And most probably the habitat will actually be buried under layers of regolith in order to protect it from radiations.
Okay, so the question was, how do we get an internet connection here at the High Seas Habitat? And the answer is that we have a network of devices. These are called ubiquity power bridges, and they're basically directional Wi-Fi antennas that we have mounted outside of the habitat. And if you look over here on this computer screen, there's a map of the connections that lead us to the internet. So we're actually sitting just about here on Mauna Loa, and we've got 2 power bridge units that we can monitor here. One of them goes to the Mauna Loa Observatory, and the other one goes to the Mauna Kea Observatory. And it's actually the one that goes to the Mauna Kea Observatory that connects through a number of links, one to the University of Hawaii, which actually goes to the Johnson Space Center at NASA, and finally out to the internet. So it's actually the units that are behind me here that connect with these. This is a spare, and this is the wire that goes out that connects to the power bridge over on Mauna Kea. So that's in a nutshell how we get the internet here.
Okay, I feel pretty much the same as month 1. I'm excited that we only have less than 30 days left in here, and I have a lot of things to look forward to, but I feel pretty much the same.
I have no idea.
Like having this amount of people, this isn't much different than a small like science team or a multi-place aircraft. We're all constrained with the same personalities for a long time. I say I definitely do feel like homesick for aspects of things that we can't have here. I miss being able to see trees, and I miss having like fresh air, like wind, being able to feel that.
I'm pretty happy as far as everything is concerned. I think we've all developed strong friendships with each other, and with only 28 days left in the mission, I'm not really feeling homesick because I know that seeing my friends and family is just over the horizon.
Yeah, same here. I don't feel different than month 1 either, and I haven't felt homesick at all. I think yeah, we go along pretty well together, and this is a good substitute for friends and family when I don't feel homesick. Our mission is coming to an end in about a month, and your school year is also ending. So this will be our last video and the end of our project together. I'm very, very happy that we have had a chance to work together, to receive your questions, and to see your bubble crops grow weeks after weeks. If you want to continue following the High Seas mission, well, this mission is almost over, but you can still follow it until the end. There will be 2 other missions coming, an 8-month mission and a 12-month mission. It's very important to have students like you following analog missions like you did with this one, and giving the crew a hard time with questions. This is what we want to see. So again, thank you, and I hope to meet you all one day, and I wish you all the best for the rest of your school year and for the years after. Bye!
Because I'm